The forest was alive with the sounds of birds. Sunlight dappled the forest floor. A gentle breeze rustled through the leaves. A man walked peacefully, enjoying the beauty of nature. He smiled as he listened to the birds singing. He thought about the long journey ahead. He had been walking for hours, but he didn't feel tired. The beauty of the forest energized him. He stopped to take a deep breath of the fresh air. He closed his eyes and listened to the sounds of the forest. For a moment, he felt completely at peace. A twig snapped. He opened his eyes, suddenly alert. Something wasn't right. The birds had stopped singing. The forest was silent. He looked around, his eyes scanning the trees. He listened intently, but he couldn't hear anything. He started to walk again, but he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. He quickened his pace, his heart starting to pound in his chest. He could feel a cold sweat prickling at his skin. The silence was unnerving. He wished he could hear something, anything. Then he heard it. A low growl coming from the trees behind him. He spun around, his eyes wide with fear. There in the shadows he saw them, a pack of wild dogs, their eyes glowing in the dim light. They were big and powerful, their teeth bared in a menacing snarl. He knew he was in trouble. He didn't hesitate. He turned and ran, his heart pounding in his ears. He could hear the dogs barking behind him, their heavy paws pounding the ground as they closed in. He had to find a place to hide. He spotted a large tree, its branches thick and strong. He scrambled towards it, his hands scraping against the rough bark. He pulled himself up, his muscles screaming with exertion. He climbed higher, his lungs burning until he was safely out of reach. He looked down and saw the dogs circling the base of the tree, their barking echoing through the forest. He stayed in the tree for hours, long after the dogs had given up and moved on. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the forest floor. He was safe for now, but he knew he wasn't out of the woods yet.